Are you tired of the coffee crash? Still jittery an hour after your morning cup of coffee? Listen, I used to drink 5, 6, 7 cups a day to just keep going. The anxiety, the stomach pains, the afternoon crash, it was brutal. Then I discovered Rise Coffee, and everything changed. Rise has less than half the caffeine as regular coffee, but here's the magic. It contains 6 organic mushrooms, including cordyceps, lion's mane, and others that naturally sustain your energy without the jitters or crash. We're talking sharper focus, immune support, better gut health, and calm, sustained energy that lasts all day. Plus, it's organic, vegan, and has 0 added sugars. Unlike other mushroom coffees, Rise is USA grown in California. A full spectrum of mushrooms per serving that actually works. Here at Pod Nation, we only partner with brands we actually believe in, and Rise Coffee is the real deal. Head to risesuperfoods.com and use promo code PODNA15 for 15% off your order. That's PODNA 15 for 15% off. Ditch the crash, fuel your day the right way with Rise Coffee.
Do y'all have lucky numbers?
Kind of.
All right, what's your lucky number, Raven?
I always just said that I like the number 29 because that's my birthday.
I mean, I get that though. That does make sense.
I
Kinda
like
sticks with you.
numbers that are symmetrical, like 11 and 8 are the two that
Well,
stick out
Shelby's
to
birthday is also on an 11.
me.
Ooh.
Symmetrical, like horizontally and vertically.
Yeah.
And when it's their birthday.
And it's my birthday.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is I'm following the trend.
Yeah, I do think that 29 flows off the tongue well.
29.
It does for me. Maybe you should get a different tongue,
29.
Shelby.
Don't you turn 29 this year?
Oh, yeah, I do. It's my golden year.
Whoa.
29.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I've been really fiending for 29. Like it's just stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's the oldest a person can be, actually.
Yeah, it's only going.
That's true. I turned 29 again
30
this year.
Yeah.
30 is the youngest a person can be, but 29 is the oldest.
So true.
Not sure I follow.
Sometimes
Thorin,
I forget that I'm the oldest of the group.
you're 30.
Yeah. Whoa.
But you know what?
Yuck.
That's why you're a fan favorite, because a vast majority of our demographic are like Gen X.
Elders.
Yeah.
Don't
Wait, like-
alienate our audience, Shelby.
They're wizened.
They're
They're
wise.
experienced.
Yeah, they're wise. They're battle tested. Yeah, Spotify gives us, for those listening that don't know, it gives us demographic information on our listeners, and it's like 40 something% of our
I can pull it up right now. Hold on.
40 to 60-year-old men.
Do we have more gay sons or daughters?
We have
significantly more gay sons.
a lot
Yeah.
more gay sons. I think that maybe 2
Audience.
women listen to this podcast,
I
and they
think
do
we
it
need
accidentally at night when they're
Our
I-
highest
We need to increase
demographic-
our
Kayla
thought
is one of
daughter.
them.
Yeah, we need
our
to
highest
increase our thought
demographic for
daughter demo.
age
Shout out to you,
is
Kayla.
28 to 34.
That's our highest demographic?
That's our highest demographic. It's 34.3%.
Oh, so we've gone down in age.
We do have
They've gotten sexier.
we have 1.2% of our listeners are 0 to 17. Naughty.
Yep, this
Hello,
is not a
youths.
podcast for children. Although if you're in
Yeah.
Australia or some of those other places, you're not a child if you're 16.
True.
Wow.
It's because they
We're gonna
pump you
get
full
into
of
the-
shit there. They got like hormones and whatnot. That age.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're basting them like chickens over there.
Yep.
We have 86.4% of our listeners are male.
Ooh,
Mm.
we gotta work on that.
Hell yeah, boys. Hell yeah, boys.
59.3%
Hold the
of
line,
our
guys.
listeners are in the US.
Wait, what was that percentage?
59.3.
Wow.
America.
And then 75.7% of our listeners listen on Spotify.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. I do kind of only talk about Spotify. But for
Yeah.
all of you non-Spotify listeners, we love you.
Yeah, all
Yeah. If you're out there on Apple
less than
Podcasts,
25% of you.
I'll kiss you on your little Steve Jobs head.
See, I keep my podcasts and my music streaming apps separate. So I keep my podcasts on the Apple podcast app.
That's fair.
choice.
I will say the Apple Podcasts app is nice that it has a review feature, which you can't do on Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Although
pretty nice.
we've
You
had
can
beef with the
comment on
review
episodes on
feature.
Spotify.
You can.
Trust
That's pretty
me.
cool.
And we know we've got
We-
we've gotten some some
We haven't gotten comments in a while, though. I would love
Oh
for
yeah.
those of you
Kay!
listening,
If you're
everyone,
listening,
if you're listening, please comment.
please comment.
please comment.
Please
That's
comment.
how we're-
Even if the comment is bashing us.
Yeah, we want more
Yeah.
hate. Actually,
Give us your worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will we post it? Maybe. But we'll
And-
definitely read it.
And we'll talk
and-
about it.
Yeah,
we
oh,
do talk
yeah,
about
we talk
it.
about
We
it.
do.
We'll
We
talk
talk about
it.
every
We'll tell your
comment we
mom.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
So.
That was a fun little
yeah.
bit of banter, gang.
Yeah.
I think the audience enjoyed it too.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
hold
They
on a
better-
second.
Hey, wait. And
What's-
they better comment on it.
But what's bringing us here today, guys? We're not doing Forgotten Relics.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So why are we recording?
I mean, shouldn't we like at least be gentle and give them like
Oh, like a warm welcome or something like a greeting of some sort.
and then we can
Yeah.
get to the meat.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
I think that
okay.
works.
All right. Well,
Meat's important.
if I were gonna talk to a fan, likely an American male, somewhere between age 28 and 45, I would say, "Hey, dude,
What's up?
My name is Shelby Spencer,
Saw, dude. My name's Raven.
bruh, my name's Luke."
Put it, let's get it, boy. My name's Thorin.
and this is Modular.
The podcast where we take you through the modules written by Wizards of the Coast for the fucking 5th edition of D&D, dog.
That's right, Raven, my non-female companion. These are the pre-written stories made by the folks who made up D&D. We didn't write them, but us boys here, we're here to run them for you.
Bro, why do we do this, bro?
Well, bro, maybe you're a DM who's thinking about running a particular campaign and you want to get a feel for how it plays out. Maybe you're a player who's already been in this particular campaign and you just want to reminisce on those good old days.
Maybe you really like men. Yeah, me too. So just join us.
But you boys should be warned. Each of our episodes will take on a part of these pre-written adventures. That means there are major spoilers for the key plot points of each story we're running. And right now, we're starting session 0 of Lost Mines of Phandelver. So if you don't want spoilers, you're good. Actually, this is session 0.
Yeah, this is the best place.
You're in the right spot. So welcome and stay.
That's right, dude. And you should also be warned that Modular is not a podcast for children. It contains explicit language as well as adult themes like sex, alcohol, drug use, violence, and the very masculine sport of cock wrestling, which is like thumb wrestling, but you use your dicks instead. So please be aware of these not so kid-friendly themes.
Exactly. Now, without further ado, welcome to Modular.
And session 0, bro, dog, of Lost Mine of Phandelver.
It's a modular pod. It's a modular pod. Little D&D for you and me. Oh yeah.
So, question to get to know our actual players a little bit better today, not the characters. You don't know anything about the characters yet, do you, audience? No, you don't. You're thinking to yourself, I don't know about these characters. What could I even ask them? Would I ask their names, their species subset, their classes? You'll find all that out. That doesn't need to happen yet.
You'll learn
So,
more.
We're running Lost Mine of Phandelver. This is the quintessential OG 5e adventure. This is what was in the box set, the starter set when D&D 5e first released in 2014. It's a short adventure, but we're gonna do a lot of fun things with it, and I'm sure most of our listeners have either run it themselves as DMs or played in it, and if not, I'm sure you know. It's been played a lot on a lot of different streams. Most famously, probably the opening of it is the start to the first Adventure Zone season, and so everybody's got some preconceived notions about Phandelver, and I'm going to try and make it different and unique. But to find out what our players think of it and how they relate to it, I just want to know: have you played or DM'd this adventure before? And I'm going to start with Thorin. Have you played in Phandelver? Have you run this adventure for other people?
Phandelver was my very first ever thing I played of D&D. One of my friends in high school got the box set, and we all hung out one night and we got drunk and we played, and I played one of the pre-made characters. I was the human fighter. Don't remember his name, but
I don't know if they
we
have names. I think they actually don't. I think you get to pick
we
their names.
we made it up to Phandalin, and then we all just got too drunk by that point. But then I did play again with another group in college, and we did beat it. So I have played Phandelver, and I like it.
Yeah,
It's very fun.
you're a stan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You also have run the same amount as you did in high school with me when we took Zach through it. That was the first time Zach ever played D&D.
Oh.
But you completed Cragmaw Hideout, and then that was that, and we just never we didn't keep
See, I
going.
don't remember that.
Well, it was like 2 sessions, and we stopped
Okay.
playing because it was also maybe the first time Christian had played, and
Maybe.
then Christian and
Yeah.
Sophia broke up, and that was
So this is just like friend lore on the
yeah.
Yeah,
It is, you're
this
getting
is-
friend lore too, listeners. You're getting friend lore too. Okay, yeah, Raven. What about you? You
So,
played this? You played this thing before?
I have DM'd actually a little bit of Phandelver. We had not finished because it's a group of gays, and planning and coordinating is borderline impossible.
We also play in
Because
person, which is
Yeah.
an
We
extra
know
layer
it.
of
and it's
that's true.
it's a novice table. I actually started DMing it to get good for the pod, so to practice
Nice.
my skills a little bit.
Dope.
So
That's
I
great.
would this is a table that is still ongoing. We're just really bad at scheduling.
Okay, cool. And then you've
Um,
never played as a player.
No, so this will be my first time as a player. I also have listened to that season of the Adventure Zone. So I have
Raven.
some familiarity with the storyline, and I think it's good. I think it's very quintessential D&D. It feels like the D&D movie, if you know what I mean. Like in that
Yeah.
plot scheme. It's just like this is D&D,
Yes.
and I enjoy that.
Raven is also lying. They have played in Phandelver.
Oh
as
my
a
god, it was
character
years ago.
because
Holy shit.
that was both of our very first D&D game. My dad,
forgot
shout out,
about
who listens to the
this.
pod, attempted to run it just
We had one
for
session,
my
I
family,
think.
and I think Raven, a couple other friends were there, but people were too silly and not taking it seriously. It did not go on very long. I don't even know that we made it into the
No, we
First
definitely
dungeon.
did not.
like we
did
probably
not.
didn't even get
I
past
don't
the
think we
horse on the
did.
road. Like
I don't.
it was
Yeah,
it was a mess. My mom
That's
couldn't
incredible.
couldn't stop like being too careful about everything, and so we didn't get very far.
She was like, do I need to make a check to sit on the seat of the wagon?
Yeah, literally.
it
She's
was like that.
she's
I don't
like,
want to get a
so
splinter in my ass.
are there explosives around this corner?
Yeah. Well, so that's awesome. That means that there probably won't be as many twists and turns.
And Shelby's also at my table for the Phandelver that we
So
play
this
here
is-
in Greensboro. So
your second foray into it as well, Shelby.
Neither
Don't
time
dox
have we gotten
yourself.
very far.
yeah,
so-
neither time we've gotten
Gotcha.
we're in
Gotcha. Cool.
Phandalin with this
Okay.
other group.
So there might be some twists and turns for Shelby. Raven, maybe if they've forgotten what they already read in prepping DMing. And
Oh,
then
I most
Thorin
certainly
probably knows
have.
what's coming. But it'll be good. It's going to be fun. 2 notes for our DMs that are listening. Number 1, a few years ago, there was a book that came out. It was called Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Shattered Obelisk. That is an expansion of the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So the first 4 chapters of Phandelver and Below are fairly similar. Meat and potatoes wise, it's the same. They change a few things. And then it blossoms into this little shitty flower of mind flayers and psionic goblins and things that don't make sense. And I read it and I thought it was dog shit. I've talked about it on our Discord before. I think it's a really bad book, and we will not be running that. We're running OG Phandelver. Also, the internet since 2014 up until about whenever this came out, 2020, 2021, somewhere in there, had some really great theories about obelisks that show up in different books, and how they might be tied to Vecna. And then this book did away with all of those things and kind of shit on the audience as a whole. So we're not running that, and I don't recommend it to anyone. However, if you are interested in running Lost Mine of Phandelver into something else and you want to continue Lost Mine past its original page limit of the 4 chapters that it gives you, I'm going to strongly recommend, that you run it into Storm King's Thunder, because the next season of Modular after this will be Storm King's Thunder, and I'm going to show you a few little changes that will be new to all 3 of my players, of how you can run this book really effectively into Storm King's Thunder, because that book has a really weak starting point to get you from levels 1 to 5, but then afterwards it really takes off into something special. Now, the players that you have here will be the players in that as well, but they will not have the same characters, because we always run these books for you the way they're written. So we will run the shitty start of Storm King's Thunder next season, but you can easily listen to this season and then pick up in that season and see how things streamline. I'm going to try and make it as seamless as possible. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I personally have run Lost Mine of Phandelver. I think this is my 6th time running the adventure. Not
We're
to
in good
completion,
hands, y'all.
mind you. If we
Lost Mine. God.
So when we complete this, I think it'll be only my 3rd time completing it. But I have run the intro 6 times, and then 1 petered out before they got to Phandalin. Another 2 petered out before they got to the final boss. I mean, I've killed people. I've had TPKs in Phandelver, and so it's dangerous. So that brings me to my next point about this little book. This is an adventure recommended for 4 to 5 level 1 players that will progressively level up. And similar to our last mini season, Forgotten Relics, you did hear, we were supposed to be level 1 in that, and Raven kindly set us at level 2. My characters are level 1. My players are starting at level 1, but they will level up faster at certain points, and I will talk about that then, to hopefully avoid a TPK. So that is a great segue into what we all truly care about, which is our players and their characters. Now, typically, for the DMs listening, this thing kicks off on the road, and the box text that the book gives you is this. I'll read it now. In the city of Neverwinter, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker asked you to bring a wagon load of provisions to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandalin, a couple of days' travel southeast of the city. Gundren was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about his reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandalin. He then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming he needed to arrive early to, quote, take care of business. You've spent the last few days on following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along the Tribor Trail. You've encountered no trouble so far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail. That is where the book wants you to start your players. However, that's not a great session 0, and I think a better session 0 is to just start getting the job in Neverwinter, in the Driftwood Tavern, which is located in the Black Lake district of Neverwinter. So that's where we're going to meet our characters. And to let those longtime listeners of the pod know, because I'm sure we've got new listeners starting this season, but our pod is a continuing universe. And so for your information, for the history, We are now 2 years out from Tyranny of Dragons. We are 1 year out from when Bradley Copper adventured in Phandalin, and we're also a year out from the conclusion of Rime of the Frost Maiden. And here's what the three of you know about the city of Neverwinter as it stands now. It is progressively becoming a harder and harder place to live. Economically, it is struggling as Lord Daggelt Neverember is pouring more and more resources into a quasi-militaristic city government. He, as the rumors spell it out, he is worried that a usurper to his throne is existent and alive and plotting against him. That usurper is known as Radaran Alagandar, and he is working tirelessly in the city to try and find him and snuff out this threat. That means that there is now a curfew in place, and work is harder and harder to find. Human and half-elf men and other men of half-human lineages are struggling to even exist in the city. People are being jailed. People are being killed in the streets. It is a bad, bad place to be. And the three of you, with my players and their characters, know this, and it is time to find work some fucking where else. And so I am going to start with our friend Shelby Spencer. And can you tell us, firstly, just a little bit about your character, what she looks like, race, class, all those good things. But then also we'll get into the fact that she actually knows Gundren Rockseeker, your soon-to-be employer. So Shelby, tell us a little bit about Karen, if I'm pronouncing that correct.
Karen Manbreaker Thun Lakalaga of the Worm Doom clan, proud Goliath, worshipper of Kavaki the Ram Lord. She stands approximately 7'2". I want you to imagine Brienne of Tarth with the sharpest bob you've ever seen.
Fuck yes.
And she has like just a warhammer kind of strapped to her back and a shield, and you probably see her harassing a manager of some kind.
Incredible. And she has come from the greater Icewind Dale region, and she has ventured south. Any particular reason that she's come as far south as Neverwinter?
Well, her good for nothing piece of shit ex-husband just so happened to get himself wrapped up in a little heroic journey, and him and his two turtle named brothers were brought by Tall Tree out to, I don't know, defeat the Frost Maiden or some shit. And he's obviously trying to humiliate her by having a hero's death. And so she can't let him show her up like that. And so here she is, seeking her own glory.
Okay.
That's crazy.
And to be clear, Karen speaks Dwarvish, it sounds like, right?
Yes.
So you know that Gundren Rockseeker, as well as his brothers Nundro and Tharden, are more
fucking names.
More than anything,
they kill me.
they are.
My name is Nundro, guys. My name's Tharden.
Tharden.
I'm naming my thought son that listens to this podcast Tharden. Thank you very much.
You know, they're businessmen. They're seeking the next, always scheming to get the next big, get big rich scheme. Get rich big scheme. Wow. I was thinking about big and rich. Sorry, country
Get
music.
rich big scheme.
Get big rich scheme. Good music, yeah. As far as Karen goes, meeting Gundren somewhere on the road, maybe north of Neverwinter, or maybe in Neverwinter proper, what do you think her relationship is like with this man, for one, who is constantly just seeking out more profit?
Of course he needs an escort. Weak, puny man. I can lend my services.
And so I think Karen stands out in a crowd, certainly. And I mean, she's tall enough
2 feet
alone.
like taller than than
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, exactly. And so probably this job was first pitched to Karen. And when you met Gundren, friendly dwarf, under 100 years old, so still a young dwarf, nice long black beard with jewelry and clips kind of braiding it in certain styles, and this big wide brim hat and nice clothes, clearly comfortable being in a mine. That's what he started talking to you about was a mine that could be very profitable in the future, but he needs some people to get it to where it's got to go. The goods, that is, to start working on this mine. And he tells you, Karen, listen, Sildar Hallwinter over there, that's my escort. He's a good guy. And you, Karen, see across the inn, there is a human man in his early 50s, beginning to bald. He's got black hair, but it's graying at the front and at the temples. And he's got this yellow and orange sort of insignia on his armor. He looks like he actually has probably seen a few fair fights, but he says, I need Sildar with me. I trust him, and he's my personal bodyguard. But if he's with me riding out tonight, he can't be with you guarding the provisions. So I'm gonna need you to go to Phandelver. It's just a few days' ride on the wagon. The oxen on the wagon, Vincent and Victor have made the ride plenty of times before, so you barely need to direct them. But I think we need to just take a look around this place and see who else we can find that's up to make some coin. If nothing else, you're going to want at least one more so you can rest while somebody else drives.
Gathering reinforcements.
Precisely, exactly. And let me see. Raven, why don't you, without going too much into your character, what's your character's passive perception?
15.
15, you hear this full conversation. There's work to be had and maybe a little bit of danger, but it sounds pretty easy money.
The je ne sais quoi, you say.
Does that interest Jem?
Absolutely. If there's a little bit of coin, perhaps some shiny stuff out of it, she's all in.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about Jem and tell us where she's at in the bar and how she approaches these two having this conversation.
So Jim would be sitting at the bar, but all you can really see at these bar stools from afar away, if Karen were to look across this room, are the tips of her ears. And she hops down from where she's sitting and starts to slink towards this conversation. So Karen, if Karen is picking up on this movement towards the potential of work, she would see a 4 foot tall tabaxi. And she doesn't look like your standard big cat. She looks like a house cat on 2 legs. She's orange in color with white paws and a white tail. I intentionally said that she looks like my personal cat. And she is dressed in red. She looks like she just hopped fresh off the boat, landed maybe just today. And yeah, so that's what you see heading your way. She has a weapon strapped to her back. There's a little bell on the end of it. She's cute.
She's
I
cute.
do not have any food scraps.
Bonjour.
Feline.
Enchanté, mademoiselle. My name is Jim, and I hear that you have work.
Oh, you heard that all from over there.
Her ears twitch up and down. You see, I have very good hearing.
Well, that's great. You got skills to, I mean, for one, drive a wagon and also potentially protect it from brigands.
Jim immediately unleashes her claws and crawls up the side of the building and then drops down backwards and lands on her feet. I think I have plenty of skills to do what you wish.
What the fuck?
And the bartender from across the way bangs on the bar, bam, bam, bam. And you look over, Jim, and he points to a sign, and it clearly says, "No crawling up the walls." And he says, "That's the last warning you're gonna get."
I want to crawl up the walls. Let me crawl up the walls.
No, specifically no.
Who
Specifically no.
established such a rule?
My dad.
And Karen will turn to Jim after that and say, I like the cut of your jib.
And then you notice that Jim immediately reaches down to her hip pouch and pulls out this very crude bottle that just says nip juice on the front of it. And she takes a big old swig. Yes, I think I like yours as well. Would you like some?
I keep my head clear for battle.
That's funny. I fight a lot better when it's murky.
You two seem great. Well, let's go sit with our guy Sildar. I think the two of you will do. And as the two of you follow Gundren, I presume, walking across this crowded bar, squeezing past X person and Y person. Like I said, right now the vibe of Neverwinter is super dark, and so lots of people here clearly not adventurers, but just your average craftsmen, tradesmen, fisher folk, getting wasted at like 6 p.m. because they know that curfew's going to hit soon and everybody's got to go home. And as you make your way across the bar, Gundren's eyes, and I would imagine y'all's eyes as well, are drawn to probably the strangest individual you've ever seen before. And Gundren stops each of you with an arm on each of you and says, "Holy shit, what do you think that guy's deal is?" And Thorin, can you please describe Ulix for us?
So Ulix is a plasmoid from Wild Space. Ulix doesn't have a gender. Ulix was sent to Faerun for reasons that Ulix has not really revealed to anyone. And Ulix just wants to help people. And Ulix is about 3'8". Its skin is, I guess what you would consider its skin is like purple, like almost the consistency of Jello. It's wearing a hat, a conical hat that is made up of dried leaves, and at the very top of it is a pine cone. You can see in its center, aside from its like massive neurons that seem to be its central processing system, for lack of a better term, it has a large crystalline orb in its chest.
It's the mitochondria.
Yeah, it's the powerhouse of the Ulix.
Gundren looks to the two of you and says, "What do you think of Bubble Buddy over there?"
I kind of want to sink my claws into him just a little bit.
I don't see how he could stand up in a fight.
Hello, yes. Ulix name, not Bubble Buddy. Ulix name, Ulix. Very nice meet. Need help?
Gundren turns to you and says, "Have you ever been in a fight before, Ulix? Karen here seems to think you wouldn't hold your own."
Ulix been in fight, yes.
What'd you fight?
Ulix fight many thing in wild space.
Is that where you're from?
Yes.
Well, 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 I don't think I've met anyone from Wild Space before.
Well, now meet Ulix. How can
J-
Ulix help?
Jim will extend a paw out and put her claws back in before she shakes Ulix's hand.
you see Ulix extends what looks like an arm but isn't really, and kind of just morphs it around your
I
hand
was just picturing
and
that.
kind of just wiggles it.
The fur on the back of Jim's neck stands up, and she's like immediately hisses. Just don't do that again, and
You
we'll be
also
fine.
There's also something that now that you're facing Ulix, you've noticed there is a sort of like face almost, but it's kind of like it looks essentially like a Ditto's face, but the eyes are unblinking and the mouth is unmoving. It seems to be there just for show.
Yeah.
Does he look like one of those like smiley French fries?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Yep,
He's the
that's good
smiley
shit.
fry.
Now, there could be benefits to having a an alien emissary.
Ulix cast spells. Ulix magic.
That
That
that that's good.
that that can do.
Gundren says, he's got your approval, Karen.
He does for now. He must earn it.
Ulix, do you use money?
Yes.
Great. Well, how's 10 gold sound to ride on a wagon a couple of days?
10 gold sounds nice for Ulix.
Perfect. He walks you over to the table where Sildar is seated, and he tells you that this is also a potential for future employment. Basically, if you get the cart there with all of the supplies intact over to Phandalin, then he's setting up something big, and he's hoping that you can work for him for a longer period of time. For each of you, for whatever reason you think you know, overall, probably best to get out of Neverwinter. And this, he makes it clear that the employment would stay in Phandalin. You would not have to come back to Neverwinter potentially. And for each of you, it's not home. So is there really any reason not to leave? He does introduce you briefly to Sildar Hallwinter, who shakes each of your hands, and then Ulix, he gets slimed by you. And he says, Sildar Hallwinter, pleasure to meet each of you. And each of you, if you would like, you can make an insight check on Sildar.
So 17.
And then 18 for Jim.
7 for Ulix. Ulix, this man is bigger than you and smaller than Karen. But for
That's great.
Karen and Jim both, this guy seems maybe just overqualified to be Gundren's bodyguard. He seems, I mean, especially for both of you and in each of your lines of work, you've met guards before to
Mm.
other people, and the biggest thing that stands out about them is they kind of seem like they got nothing between their ears. They're just good at fighting stuff. And this guy Sildar, he seems like maybe he's too smart to be Gundren's guard. But
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't really
Karen would point
matter.
that out.
Yeah,
Karen would point that out.
I would
She
say
she
I think Jim is also cutting her eyes. Like, you know how cats like they're like judging you. Yeah. She's
you seem skilled, yet you work for this man as a bodyguard.
Sildar furrows his brow and says, I am too hoping to gain more than just a simple job. And Gundren says, the conversations I've had with Mr. Hallwinter here have proved to be pretty enlightening. I think that he could potentially be a business partner in this operation. And hey, if y'all stick around long enough, you all potentially could make partner status and have a vested interest in the future Rock Seeker enterprise.
all these business terms. I just the system is so abhorrent. I
It is
just want
but a guise for weaklings to take power from those with true authority.
Okay, well, I was just talking about capitalism and the job
Me
of.
too.
Okay, wow, wow, passionate, passionate. I see.
Gundren holds up his hands as if to make peace. Listen, if you're not interested in making more money as the time goes on, I'm not going to force your hand or twist your arm or whatever piece of Ulix I could twist. The long and short of it is this. Y'all are good to take the supplies. We'll have them ready for you in the morning. The two of us are heading out tonight. I've got to take care of some business before you get into town. You're going to be driving the wagon over to Barthen's Provisions. Barthen's a great guy, and that'll be that. If you want to go from there and do your own thing, I'm not going to stop you. But if you're interested in more work, then, we can challenge the system some other day.
We accept your mission.
Well,
And
I
we
guess we're
will
accepting.
exceed your expectations.
Ulix, happy to help.
And Jim kind of shrugs her shoulders and says, I guess I'm in for the ride.
Perfect. Well, Gundren buys each of you an ale, and then wishes you the best.
Jim wants nip juice. I don't know what to tell you.
Nip juice
What-
is my favorite euphemism for milk.
It's
So-
catnip. No, it's catnip juice.
I
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, then
That
you
too.
get a milk,
Which
Jim.
nip?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
nip?
And then he
You
did
can't tell
hear
me.
he did hear Karen say that she likes to keep her head clear. So he actually gives Karen a water, Jim a milk, and then he puts an ale in front of you. Ulix and says, "I don't really know what you process, but he wishes you three the best, and he says he'll see you in a few days." And he's off.
Hell yeah.
Do the three of you talk about anything before hitting the hay and setting out tomorrow?
I imagine that Jim is kind of like awkwardly sitting there, tapping her claws on the glass of milk in front of her. So, it looks like we're going to be traveling together. We could take this time to get to know one another a little bit more.
yes,
All
Ulix. Oh, Ulix, sorry.
No.
go ahead.
What name? And you see he points a little pseudopod at you, Karen.
Non-Goliaths may call me Karen. Among my own, I am known as Manbreaker.
Yes. What name? And he points his pseudopod to you now, Jem.
My name is Jim. Full name, Stolen Jim. But just Jim is fine.
Karen. Jim. Nice meet.
Yes.
And you see the little smile gets a little bit bigger.
Oh,
That's so cute.
that is really cute. You hear a low rumble come from Jim.
Oh my god.
It's nice to meet you too. And she's purring just a little bit.
I look forward to the opportunity for all of us to show off our power, our skill, our might in the name of our shared mission.
I don't think we're ever going to be incognito.
Karen does have a disadvantage to stealth, so
I mean, that adds up.
And Jim just kind of nods along to that. She's also excited for this adventure.
The three of you have one of the most awkward conversations any three people can have.
Yeah, this is like awkward as hell.
For only about an hour before you decide, all right, that's enough of that. And
the weirdest looking group. The trio.
yeah, everyone is
Yeah.
giving you the widest berth. They're like, what the fuck? Just the weirdos are too spooky to interact with. And in the morning of the month in the calendar of Harptos is the time of flowers. It is the first day, essentially the first day of June. And the three of you find the wagon left for you, and you make it out of Neverwinter. As you're leaving the city, there are guards harassing a human man with dark hair, and you see lots of people lined up at the soup kitchen trying to get a meal.
Oh, jeez.
And thankfully, the three of you know that you are leaving and maybe never coming back because this place fucking sucks. And you ride south on the Neverwinter Road, or I believe it's called actually the High Road. And you head south knowing it's going to take you about 3 days to get to Phandelver. The oxes names are Vincent and Victor. And Karen, I would imagine you're driving, but anybody is welcome to drive for the first shift.
Yeah, I don't think Jim should be allowed to drive. I'm just gonna say that.
Jim needs an interlock to drive, actually.
Yeah,
It would be
Jim
like
should not be behind the wheel of a car.
Ulix has
doxes might
proficiency.
spook.
Ulix has proficiency in space vehicles. But
Mhm.
I think these more terrestrial ones confuse it.
The
Okay.
the wheels are interesting. Space vehicles might hover, perhaps.
Yeah, I can be driving.
Well, the first day, same situation, not a lot of talking. It's just hard to talk. The three of you do not have a lot to talk about. And you make camp on the side of the road. One thing you do notice, Karen, as you drive, is etched into the seat, in what would typically be the driver's seat. You do see just carved in there. There is a BC carved into one side, and then on the other side, where a passenger would sit, you do notice the carving of a QH. And clearly somebody has driven this cart before and enjoyed, just carving into it as they rode along. As you go to rest for the first night, Ulix, what does sleeping look like to you?
So when plasmoids go to sleep, they kind of abandon their structured form and just goop into a puddle. So that's kind of
These
why
are amazing.
Ulix has this big hat. But if there's a bucket around, Ulix thinks that would be preferable to
Mm.
sleep in.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
bucket. You can,
okay.
especially on the cart, you're taking all these provisions. You find a bucket, you're comfortable borrowing a
Okay,
Instead of
bucket.
a
yeah.
bedroll, you're just carrying a bucket.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
Ulix slinks down into the bedroll and the hat covers it almost like a pot, a lid pot, a pot lid.
Incredible. That's awesome. And what about Jem? Curls up like a cat?
Jim does quite literally curl up just like a teeny little kitten wherever
Not
she
belly
can.
up,
No
because
belly up. She doesn't she's not exposing herself to danger. She's in a tight little ball.
Okay. And the oxes, after unbridled and let off the cart, they graze a little bit but stay nearby. And Karen, you set up most of camp and you look at these two new companions, just the strangest people you could have imagined. And you do eventually drift to sleep. And as you sleep on this first night on the road, you do have a brief dream. Does Karen like chess?
I don't think she would wrap her mind around that.
Yeah.
Honestly, what any Goliath games you got?
Goat ball.
Goat
Yeah.
ball, yeah.
So Karen has a dream that she's watching a goat ball game. And the players on the stumps of the goat ball arena are some of the biggest and best she's ever seen. And yet, one by one, they topple off of their perches, the goat ball flying at inhuman speeds and smacking these warriors in the face and in the chest. And you don't see where the ball is coming from. And in her dream, she hears a voice that she has prayed to hear and maybe has heard before. She's so sure it's the voice of Kavaki, the Ram Lord, her god. And it says two words to her. It's breaking. Modular's Raven Walker is Jem, Shelby Spencer is Karen, Thorin George is Ulix, and Luke Job is our Dungeon Master. The story you heard today, as well as 99% of the characters, were created by Wizards of the Coast and can be found in the module Lost Mine of Phandelver. Holly Lyons Hawks is our fantastic editor. Raven Walker does our cover art. Our intro, outro, and title music today was written and performed by Max Hedman. You can find Max's music anywhere you listen to music. Our battle music is courtesy of Descript. You can follow us on Twitter at ModThePod, join our private Facebook group at the Modular Podcast Fan Club, and you can follow us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, all at the Modular Podcast. You should also join our Discord, which you can find on any of the aforementioned socials. Here's a quick shout out to Matthew Perkins, who's a D&D content creator on YouTube. Much of his playlist about how to run Lost Mine of Phandelver is inspiring this season of Modular, although I'm, of course, taking my own liberties and changing things. But Matthew Perkins, really great content creator. And yeah, I'm stealing a lot of his good ideas, as all DMs should. Steal my ideas if you want to. I hope you enjoy them. Hey, remember that new episodes come out every Tuesday, and until then, thank you for listening to Modular.
Listen, here's the truth. If it's not in your zone of genius, automation is mandatory. You didn't start your podcast to spend hours editing clips. You started it to create, connect, and grow your audience. But here's the problem. Every other platform works with video podcasts, and manual editing eats up your most valuable asset, your time. That's where Opus Clip changes everything. Upload your video and Opus Clip will automatically find the golden nugget moments, auto clip and caption the best parts, perfect for TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. 1 hour-long episode becomes 10, 20, even 30 viral ready clips in minutes. The tool even predicts each clip's viral potential, so you know exactly what to post. No more tedious editing, no more wasted hours. Just you staying in your zone of genius, creating content that matters. Head to podnationopus.com for your free trial and get back to doing what you do best. Stop editing and start creating now.